So I'm eating 500 additional calories above whatever my maintenance is for the day. So that's probably
unbeknownst to you.
Unbeknownst to me. So that there's problematic in a couple of ways. I'm over consuming and I'm not aware of it. Yeah. Right. So that's a challenge, right? In and of itself.
It's sneaky.
That is sneaky. And so that, in a sense, may be like the awareness piece, that we put out there. But I think there's different levels of awareness as you get down, as you go down the list here, and inside that definition, we're talking about very low nutrient density.
Yeah.
So not only are you putting in, we're talking about, you just said 500 additional calories. We're not talking about the makeup of those calories.
Yeah.
So where are they coming from? So I already mentioned like a lot of the additional, you mentioned it to start, but the additional saturated fat, specifically hydrogenated fat, so that it stays shelf stable and it can be packaged and mixed with these other things. You also mentioned sugar because it tastes delicious, right? And
we're drawn to it naturally.
We're drawn to it. It's just, again, hard-coded in our DNA. And so when you start to look at like macronutrient wise, what's in this, and then the type of how those macronutrients are being delivered. So again, saturated fat versus unsaturated fat. Fat is fat, but at the same time, we know there are benefits to some more than others, and there is also negative effects of having some excess, more than other. Yeah, right. So same on the sugar side. We are sugar is not going to inherently kill you. It's not dangerous. It's not bad for you.
You're prone to overconsume it, though.
The concentrations of it, right, depending on, obviously lead to additional caloric intake and can impact your physiology if you're imbalanced. Then again, we can talk about the proteins and the quality of that protein that may or may not be in that ultra-processed food.
It most likely is not. So that would be,
That's a major concern. So that's another factor or something to take a look at. So if I am consuming 500 additional calories of low density or low nutrient density food, high in fat, high in sugar, whatever the case, I'm also going to be undernourished in terms of the other things that would be onboarded with those macronutrients. Vitamin mineral profiles, amino acids, polyphenols,
antioxidants, all that type of whole food stuff. Yeah.
So not only do we have a person that's over consuming a very low nutrient dense food, they're also undernourished, which might be hard for people to kind of comprehend.
They might, they're overweight but undernourished. So it's a double whammy.
Yeah. So nourishment meaning, are you giving your body the things it needs in order to live vibrantly, repair, recover, and remain active? So the major currency is always the same at the end of the day in terms of energy. So no matter what type of energy you put in your system, your body's going to figure out a way to use it or store it. That's just at a base level. That's what it is. But the quality of that energy that you're putting in there means everything with regard to your health.
Yeah, how you're feeling.
And your efficiency and your effectiveness, right? And the things that happen. So it's more than just you're overeating shitty food. You're also under-eating the things that keep you healthy and help you fight against things like, if we want to really boil it down and get super morbid here, to fight the cancers, to fight the diabetes, to fight the viruses, and all the things that we're faced with as humans, and that we're continually becoming weaker and weaker at defending as a human population, particularly here in the West.
More and more vulnerable. Yeah. So it creates a vicious cycle in that, you're in a caloric surplus, so you're gaining weight. Now, as I gain weight, I gain body fat. That fat is creating inflammation. And at the same time, I'm undernourished. So my energy levels are low. I'm eating these, typically high carbohydrate or high fat meals. My blood sugar's all over the place. So it creates this vicious cycle for a lot of people. And then we seek the same foods that are causing the problem in the first place. It's an addiction cycle, really. Is what is happening. So you mentioned the protein. That's one. Protein and fiber are the two main nutrients that tend to be absent from these ultra-processed foods.
And often, as a result, very underconsumed by the majority of the population, as you just stated.
Yeah. So that's probably the two most common deficiencies that I see in terms of kind of broad nutrients. People are not eating enough protein and they're not eating enough fiber. Protein and fiber are both going to help stabilize your blood sugar, curb cravings. They're more satiating. So when we are not consuming those, when we're eating a high percentage of foods that do not contain protein and fiber, now all of a sudden we're hungry all the time. Our blood sugar is all over the place. We're wondering why we're always crashing in the afternoon. I'm always having cravings for sweets. Like, what's happening to me? It must be hormones.
Willpower, dude. Just use your willpower.
Yeah. Or it's a matter of, you just lack discipline. You just need to be more disciplined about your cravings. You need to be more disciplined about what your inputs, and then you won't have to worry so much about those types of things.